Hello, and welcome to this version of the Wyoming State Museum's video series, Firearms Friday. Today we're going to be talking about concealable handguns. And it's not a new thing. I have to imagine that when early Homo sapiens first picked up a sharp rock and tucked it in his pouch or into the folds of his deerskin cloak, that there's been a demand for, and consequently a market for, small, concealable, personal protection weapons. And we're going to talk about some of those today, as a matter of fact. And we just happen to have some from the museum's permanent collection. This is a Sharps 4-barrel Derringer from the mid-1880s, or mid-1850s, excuse me. And again, it's I'm going to point this at the camera. Let me open it up first so that you can verify that it's unloaded before I point it at you. But it is a 4-barreled 22 caliber Derringer. And it's kind of neat. You'll note that it has no extractors or ejectors, so you got to pick the empty cartridges out with your thumbnail or poke them out from the front end. And how this works is once it's loaded and closed, when you cock the hammer, the firing pin rotates to fire the barrels in sequence. And I was looking at this, and it triggered a memory of a TV show called Yancey Derringer. And the guy was a riverboat gambler, and he carried one of these clipped in the top of his hat. And I thought, really? So I went on Google and found that it ran 2 seasons, 1958 and 1959. And sure enough, he had one of these Sharps 4-barreled pistols. And yeah, I'm that old that I remember. So, Sharps 4-barrel Derringer. We're going to look at another small and concealable handgun, which I'm having some trouble getting out of my pocket. This is a National Arms single shot in 41 rimfire caliber. I have trouble opening this one. There we go. Note that the barrel rotates out to the side for loading. And again, there's no provision for an extractor or an ejector, so you got one shot, and then you need to reload. These were intended to be short-range personal defense firearms over the length of a card table or the guy standing next to you at the bar, almost at contact distance. And again, this was chambered in a 44 rimfire caliber. National made these arms for a while, and eventually the company was purchased by Colt, and they brought this Derringer out under their trademark. This one is iron with a copper plating, and you can see here some nice engraving and some embellishments on the side. It's got these panels on the back, checkered panels on the back and on the side, so that you can get a better grip on that little handgun. So that's a National brand single-shot Derringer. This is an interesting one. This is a Remington firearm. Over the years, Remington made over 150,000 of these double-barrel Derringers, and they were in production until 1935, so well into the 20th century. And it loaded and unloaded by moving the lever on the side, which exposed the chambers. And what an innovation. This one actually has something you can use to help get the empty cartridges out of the chambers. So again, very popular as a hideout gun with gamblers, a backup gun for lawmen, the soiled doves for personal protection carried these. And again, a double shot Remington Model 95 Derringer. So now we'll go a little bit modern on you. This is a baby Browning. It was manufactured by F.N. Herstal in Belgium and was imported into the United States. This one was made in 1967. And that date is important because the Gun Control Act of 1968 imposed certain stipulations on imported firearms. And one of those was barrel length, overall size, and this didn't meet the standard. So they were not imported into the United States after 1968. This is a really pristine example. It's shows practically no evidence of use. And again, one of those guns that you can conceal in a vest pocket. You can conceal it in the palm of your hand. This one is in caliber 6.35 if you're a metric person, or 25 ACP, ACP meaning automatic Colt pistol. And I've been asked, well, geez, these were not very powerful weapons. Why would you carry something that's 22 caliber? Remember that in the era of these firearms, the doctor probably didn't wash his hands before he opened you up to remove the bullet. They had no germ theory. There were no antibiotics. So even if you weren't stopped and killed on the spot, you'd probably die in pain within the next couple of weeks. So there was a great reluctance to being shot, and a part of the charm of these small guns was their intimidation factor. So we have 4. I wouldn't call this one a Derringer, really. It's a semi-automatic that holds 6 rounds. But they are all concealable, discreet, personal protection firearms. So, as always, if you have any comments or questions or more information about any of the things you're seeing on our videos, post your comments below or contact us at the museum. We'd love to hear from you if you have more information. If you have interesting firearms you'd like us to take a look at, that can be arranged. If you're going to bring a gun into the museum, please call us first so that we know you're coming and you don't get arrested on the street. Okay, thanks for looking. Thanks for watching. Have a good day and be safe.